this topic. And maybe I will say hello again because now we really have started our translation. Hello again, my name is Alex Kolokolov, and today we discuss topic of artificial intelligence with our guests, our friends of Data to Speak community, and our speakers and juries for Data Visualization Award and Make Your Data Speak conference. And let me introduce my guests. Sophie Sparks and Weronika Gawarska-Tywonek. And hello, my friends, and I will ask you to introduce yourselves to our audience.
Guess I'm going first. Hi, everybody. My name is Igor. I'm a founder of a data consultancy called DataViz, working with data visualization, data engineering, and platforms. And like majority of us, really interested in the AI. Where will it take us? Will it take our jobs? Will it make it just easier? Yeah, that's all about me. Based in London, kind of Dubai. It's a long story.
Okay, let me summarize. So you will represent data engineering tribe, and you are from UK. You're somewhere between UK and Dubai. Okay, great. Hi, Sophie.
So hey, I'm Sophie. I'm an Australian based in London, or a bit outside of London now, and I work as a data community manager and information designer. So I work with a company called the Information Lab, and we specialize in data consultancy and training. And my role is to support our community, and to support that is by creating and coordinating all of our free training materials, and a lot of those now include AI and things like that. So we're thinking, what are the things that our community wants, and how can we support them? So I've been delving deep into AI. I'm also an information designer, so I've been looking at AI for how we can help in the more creative side of DataViz.
Okay, so you are from design, right?
More design side, community design, the friendly face of it all.
Friendly faces. Great. And okay, and again, between London and Australia. Okay, welcome, Weronika.
So hi everyone, my name is Weronika, and I am data visualization designer. So again, representation of design part. I'm based in Warsaw, Poland, one place, so no confusion. I have over 8 years now of experience working with data. My latest tool of choice is Tableau, and I am very lucky to be accepted as a co-leader of our local Polish Tableau user group. And I am a keen traveler, and I love combining traveling with my other passion, data visualization. And in every place I visit, I try to go to as many museums and galleries as possible to see how other people across the world visualize information and to find some inspiration.
Thank you. And my name is Alex. To sum up, you are from Tableau community. You are information designer from Poland. And my name is Alex. I'm from Microsoft BI community, and my hands-on experience is Power BI. And over these years, I'm trying to prove that Power BI can provide data visualization not worse than Tableau. Develop and win information is beautiful with Microsoft solution. And so I'm from BI industry, so basically a data analyst, but I'm trying to be successful information designer and community manager and data engineer. And I live between United States and Armenia. And let's start our discussion from the first question. General, what specific challenges and problems data visualization and analytics can be solved by AI? What do you think on this question?
Well, often the bottleneck are us developers. We are the problem here because there are so few of us, and companies cannot, if you're producing, let's say you are a company that's producing Coca-Cola, let's say, you cannot have a company that is having 20 or 25% of the IT support of the rest of the work. You still have to produce your product. So how do you connect people with data without expanding infinitely your IT team? This is a big problem, right? And I think AI will actually be helping us a lot. We've been talking for many years right now about a concept called data democratization, how our users can directly access the data and query it in some easy way where it doesn't consume a lot of time to teach them that. There were multiple problems around this, including just poor data, right? If you don't really know what you're doing and you're trying to do it, then you might be getting poor results. And then this is translating into poor decision making, which might be even worse than without the data. So I think this used to be a problem that we're trying to face. And now with AI, it will be very similar. We'll be having a lot of possibilities of using things like natural language querying, where people will be really keen to use it without much knowledge. They will not understand the underlying data. Many times we'll be receiving fantastic results and people will be making great decisions. Sometimes it might be catastrophic because you think that you rely on information, but the reality is that 9 out of 10 times AI is a black box. I don't understand it, and many people who create it don't understand it after it's being released into the world. So I think this will be a big challenge.
Questions.
Sorry, I went too far.
Yeah, I totally agree with Igor. And on top of natural language processing, you can also automate some data preparation. So see anomalies in data quicker, and maybe something more design related. You can use it to gather the ideas how to design the dashboard to get some styling, some layout, some color scheme. So this can be done initially by tools such as Midjourney or other generative AI.
So Igor, you mentioned IT support stuff. Do you mean that it's the first category that will be replaced by AI? Or
I think our life will just get easier. I mean, I don't know how your backlog looks like, guys, but mine is infinite. I mean, it could stop right now, and all the people I'm working with on my client side will probably be busy for the next 20 years, I swear. So I don't think AI will be replacing us, especially that AI will create new job, right? Now you have to make this AI. You have to train it, you have to control it, you have to answer 100 queries a day about people not understanding what's happening. So I think it will simplify our life in some ways and make it complicated in other ways. I don't think it's going to replace us. I mean, I always say that for AI to replace us would mean that our clients would have to know what do they want. And that's problem number one. We need people to translate from other people what actually is supposed to be done. That's what I think about it.
And I'll jump in with a similar vein. So you're saying it'll help, the backlog of questions because it can answer lots of those questions for people. It can also produce a lot of the documentation that goes like data dictionaries, procedures, manuals, all the things you need to create and support creating visualizations that take ages to make, are boring to make. So people put them off, and then they don't get made. And then something goes wrong and everyone's like, why was it built like this? Why? So AI will be able to do all that admin tracking that is best practice data visualization, but hardly ever gets done or doesn't get done well because it's time consuming and boring. And it's usually the last thing you tack on at the end of a project. So I think AI will also help that way. by
We
making
will
it
need
automatic.
another one's a support team. IT support team, AI support team, BI support team.
Exactly. I think from a community point of view, it will really help. We've already seen a few with GPT's been released. There was Adam Miko, if you're part of the Tableau environment, in the last week or two has released his own GPT based on Tableau training. So you'll be able to bring lots of bespoke trainings and create your own GPT trained on information specific to your industry, your business. So I think that'll help the upskilling and process a lot. The last one, this is sort of picking up on something Weronika said, was she really likes going to museums and the data preparation. I think AI will help us analyze and get qualitative data that's quite difficult, free text data. All these things will be that at the moment it's in the realms of machine learning to really get your teeth into. I think AI will help ease that process a lot and be able to get information out of transcripts from 3D objects, from imagery. And you've already seen a few examples of that where people are using AI to pull out information from images that before was much more difficult. So I think there's some other ways it will help solve some issues.
Yeah, makes sense. So, Weronika, what do you think?
Maybe to add to what was already said, maybe some personalized visualization, but again, this means that the user knows what he is looking for, and this is not happening anytime soon. But I mean, some kind of personalized visualization has already happened. So, for example, based on the usage of the dashboard and visualization prepared for the user, you can predict what is the best choice to suggest to the specific group. So this is one thing. Also, maybe the real-time analytics. So it can be, a simple alert that will keep you on track on what's actually going on with your data in a real time.
Okay, so we talked about common trends, warnings. Let's try to discuss our actual experience. What tools do you use in your work? Maybe, so firstly, related to your data analytics, data visualization work, but maybe you have successful experience of using in any casualties or not directly data analytics and visualization, but in other cases, optimizing your business, your whatever. What's your actual experience with AI?
Right. So my experience with AI is mostly around data, to be honest, not visualization. I just feel, and I might be wrong here, I maybe didn't research enough, but I haven't seen a tool that can really create custom-made visualization that Weronika is talking about. And I really hope that this is going this way. I really hope that our users could get like a quality advanced level visualization using AI. At this point, I've seen projects, open source projects using natural language querying. AWS is trying to put an architecture together where you can use voice recognition in order to understand what type of data you're trying to query, then it's connecting inside to a database and trying to basically translate it into SQL, which is, if you think about it, not very sophisticated. In the end of the day, it's just writing SQL for you, right? This is not the most complicated thing can be done with AI. You can also have data generation using the natural language generation. But again, all of us been using it. How many times are you receiving some very weird answer that you know it's wrong? Like, we still have to do so much purging on our own of what you're reading that would you give it to your users, to those that are not really experts in data? I cannot rely on this. I do not provide right now those services to my clients because simply this is not 100% proof. It's great, it's out there, and I think data engineering is a great solution at the beginning to aim into, because as data engineers, and everybody here is also working with data, we can read the data and it's easier to compare one-to-one. Is it good or is it not? The quality control is a bit easier than after aggregation on a visualization. That's how I feel about it, at least. And data science is also a great possibility here, right? All the forecasting and all the parts that are quite difficult, but in the end of the day, AI, a lot of this is statistics, right? This is algorithms. So it is working great with it. I think we are still quite far away from proper visualization, unfortunately.
Okay, you have touched the next topic of our, how to say, disappointments about AI in DataViz. But let me sum up. So your positive experience is in the field of generating SQL scripts.
Not only, this is a possibility AWS is providing, right? But yes, generating in general code is easier if you've been working on things like GitHub Copilot. It's not perfect. It will not solve your multi-million projects yet, but it is helpful. It saves time. It generates things, but often they are wrong. And so I suggest AI should be probably restricted only to people who know what they're doing, and they can classify what is good and what is wrong, rather than giving it to users that just don't know as an answer, because more often than not, they will be disappointed after making the decision.
Yes, I agree with you. What do you think, ladies? So what is your experience?
So things I've personally used AI for, specifically related to DataViz, is probably some of the things that Weronika also mentioned. I've used Midjourney to think of inspiration for designs for DataViz and test out different layouts. So it's great at that idea generation. What could this look like? It's kind of like walking through a gallery, except you're prompting it with what you want. But it definitely, if you change some of the parameters and increase the randomness, you can get some completely crazy things that you wouldn't have thought of, and those you can take some inspiration from them. I've also created effectively stock imagery to go behind visualizations. So instead of direct labeling, if this thing was about airplanes, have a picture of an AI generated airplanes, and I can sit behind a graph. Sort of that style of thing. I've used GPT to mock up data sets that are quite complex. And so one of my colleagues showed me how he'd used a GPT to mock up a pretty complex org structure data set and make of people with realistic sounding bios. So we could put out a very realistic demo on a particular topic. And then that got me thinking, and I was like, well, I could make these mock-up data sets better. So that's so using to create data sets, there's some serious limitations about that, but also to mock up data sets. I've used it a lot it's like Google search on steroids, right? So find a data set about shipping worldwide with this and this, it just cuts down. I've also used it as a prompt. So I've told it, like, here are the 7 things I need to make sure I've checked before I hit publish on this. And so it goes along and I'm like, where am I up to in stage? Have I done this? So prompting me along the way to remember to, have you checked that these, the Z scores that are actually, is this different statistically significant or not? So things you might be brush over before you go back and check, and it can do those calculations for you. And as Igor said, I've used the advanced analytics, formerly known as Code Prompter, to help with basic code stuff that would normally take me a lot longer to figure out using, Stack Overflow and that to check.
Let me clarify. You said that you have using a checklist before publishing. Is it a technical solution, or you just chatting, talking to ChatGPT or any prompt who reminds you about any steps. So it's about like mental assistant or technical assistant.
Yeah, that one was more mental assistant. I said, remember these are all the things I want to remember to do. And I said, when I mention that I'm at the design stage, give me these prompts. So I fed it in a longish prompt of like, here are the things I want to remember to do. Remember to tell me when I type into you, what's next? I've just done this. Tell me the next bit. So that, I could have, if I train it, that was really no better than just writing a really long checklist. But the idea is I could use that again and again.
It's a nice idea. I haven't heard about it. So I think it's very useful if you work as a freelancer, if you work alone, not within a team, where you may have a team lead who will check you, who can test your solution. That's a good idea. I'll try it. Thank you for this idea.
I also like the idea of creating the type data set. I never thought of that. But this is some time-saving solutions I never thought of. But I personally, I have a personal experience of using AI for enhancing photos, because I am an amateur photographer, and if the photo is not very good, you can always retouch it and make AI work on that and increase for example, the quality of the photo. So this is a very nice usage of it. But professionally, I like automated statistical analysis that help you to analyze a data once you are working with it. So when you are creating a chart, you can take this time as an opportunity to validate the data as well and see what's odd or if there are any outliers. But as Igor mentioned, you need to know what you are doing, and this is the main barrier for broader audience. And right now, I'm at the point where I try to release some automated insights for the end user, but this is risky because it has to be followed by training, so the user know what they can expect, how to use it, how to interpret it, and basically some training required. So this is not the easy to implement solution that will be universally good for every project.
Okay, good idea. Oh, I don't have a success story about AI implementation in data analytics and DataViz, and especially in DataViz process, because it's still a creative process. In our projects, not even me, but my colleagues, my analysts, GPT just to find special function to generate a script, and sometimes it's optimize process, but not maybe 10%. My personal experience, my personal success story is in using voice assistant, which really which recognized text very well. So I tried several voice assistants, and also provides summary, and last year, I have fired a copywriter from my marketing team, because now we don't need a special person who will transform voice messages and clear these messages into final text. And what I have learned, so usually we talk about teaching, training AI, but this AI assistant taught and trained me how to build my phrases in such a way that they will be recognized for correctly from the first try. So I have this experience how AI trained me, but really it saved a lot of time. That's my experience. But of course, in DataViz now, so we tried different services, but they can't not even replace. They can't help to professional information designer or data analyst to improve his working process. And all we are dreaming about these services. And so let's try to dream together. And how do you think what future trends may affect the development process and visualization process, or maybe what kind of assistant are you dreaming of? Could you imagine your ideal AI assistant or any solution, or how can it multiple your skills, boost your business?
Well, first of all, I really like what Sophie said about the anomaly. And I think that this is a very realistic dream. I imagine importing a library inside of my database that would spot anomalies for me. It sounds very simple, but I think we are actually capable of achieving something like this pretty soon. Imagine yourself receiving alerts whenever AI discovers that. I think that between row, 1,000,000 and 1,000,005, those managers, they look off. This one knows that shouldn't be so. Like the amount of tests we have to write today on every single column to detect things like this, to see some kind of outliers that shouldn't be there because something got improperly aggregated, and all of those are creating so much mistrust to data. So I think that this is a more realistic goal. I can see my clients that, to be honest, are not, everybody's pretty fond of AI, but then if you ask them, hey, would you like to connect it to your data worth millions of dollars? Yeah, no, let's isolate it, okay? I don't want to touch it even. But if you can import a package, let's say an open source one, and we are seeing a lot of this right now in the whole spectrum of AI, and you can connect it to your database only to send you alerts, I think this is realistic. I think small goals will be more realistic, especially those that are having read access rather than write. I don't see anytime soon people connecting it to databases and saying, absolutely update the data, no worries whatsoever, create pipelines, overwrite my dashboards that are my data visualization experts spend hundreds of hours doing. This will not be happening anytime soon. But you're asking about dreams. My dreams are to not do boring work. And I think we should all be dreaming about this. We should all be dreaming about AI doing all the boring stuff, all the times that you've been asked, can you create 20 dashboards that are quite similar? No, that's not what I want to do with my life, right? I would like somebody, and usually back days we would be joking, that's an intern job. This is an AI job today, right? When you said, Alex, that you fired your copywriter, it wasn't because copywriters are bad, it's just because often we're asking people to do things that are just mundane and boring. But I think AI will really allow us to do the complicated work. Like back days, your job was to screw screwdrivers in a factory. Then steam engines came and some of those could be half automated. It's not like we're not doing manufacturing anymore. And we will be doing manufacturing in 200 years, just in a different way. So yeah, my dream is that we all do interesting work and we never have to do the boring stuff, like Sophie mentioned, documentation. If something could make my documentation, my life would be so much better.
I'll try to disagree. So you say that you want someone in general, and maybe AI, between you and boring work, for example, produce 20 similar dashboards. But if you get such task, you may ask your client, why do you need these 20 dashboards? And maybe suggest option when you can develop single or maybe 2-3 optimized dashboards. And if you will exclude yourself from this process, AI will generate 20, 30, 50 useless dashboards. And we will need another one support team who will manage and clarify and optimize and again.
I actually really agree with you. And I'm not saying that this is what I would recommend to the clients. It's just we all have those stakeholders, guys. You communicate in a very polite and diplomatic way, the best practice. And in the end, well, what do? You quit your client because you don't like the approach? Well, you politely keep communicating and saying, well, they could be done better. And hopefully in half of a year, we'll have another project to redefine it, right? But as time comes, as some work is simple, and some work will be simple forever, right? Like right now in Tableau, we have the explain data, and there are actually possibilities to do some basic work with AI already for a while in Tableau. Is it perfect? No. If this would a bit improved, perhaps your stakeholder would come and say, actually, I want only 2 KPIs. And then you don't have to look for it anymore. Something will do those 2 KPIs while you are speaking with a team that needs a complicated dashboard. But I agree with you. We should not do 20 mundane, the same dashboards. Are we doing them? Are we being asked to export our dashboards into Excel? What can you do?
Okay.
First of all, Igor, I don't think stakeholders will ever say that they want less KPIs. That's for sure. And I think there is an intersection of what can be achieved with, merging the technology, the AI, and expertise of the experienced person is. You can automate building those 20 reports, but you are the entry point and the decision maker if those reports are really needed. So first, you can focus on discovering users' needs, and then automate this process and let it be built by AI, right? So you are more of a consultant than the developer, and you are basically a middle part between the business and the technology. So you need to know both.
Yes, and it's our unique position as a human being, and I think we are not afraid of AI because we are already experienced analysts and information designers. So to sum up, Igor dreams about AI which will do all the boring work. Okay, so Sophie, what are you dreaming about?
I would love AI to help. So some of the the boring work and some of the less boring work, but time-consuming work, resizing for different screen sizes, doing all the accessibility checks. But I think deep down in my heart, what I really would love AI to do is to just do wild stuff. Like, it's crazy, the text to video, image generation, is audio. You could there's already things like my brain's been dead, the program made by Google that Alberto Caro and Simon Rogers used to sonify their data sets. At the moment, things like data sonification is code heavy, but that might make information easier for some people to understand. It might make things like climate change, which is terrifying and very complicated, might be able to communicate some of those things better to a wider audience. Well, at the moment, this is all really bespoke work, very tricky and not very accessible to other people. So I think AI, I would love it to sort of just open the doors out of what's possible multimedia way, and sort of make that much easier for other people to do. Doesn't really bring much to a business sense, but even small things like Igor was saying, like, it would be great to have alerts pop up. Why do those alerts have to be normal pop-up alerts? AI could get those alerts to you if you're in different places in different ways, and maybe some of that way is if you're driving your car, it's an audio ping opposed to a pop-up message opposed to something else. So yeah, but I'd like to see AI let us do some just crazier stuff easier.
So to sum up, to create wild things or make this process easier, or this creative process? Well,
probably a bit of both. Probably more make the process easier. Make the process easier, because at the moment you can. Most of the things I'm thinking of are probably doable, but you need a specialist coding skills, a whole newsroom. I think lots of those things AI could help you create with just one person with no specific skills in any one particular thing, just a generalist. So yeah, make it easier. I'm already seeing some of that. There's some really cool tools where you can just sketch like a button, and then AI turns it into an actual button on a website. You don't have to actually code it yourself. You don't like redraw a box with a little circle saying "click me" and things like that. So you're seeing some of these things already, and pushing the envelope of what's possible.
Okay, that's interesting. Weronika, what is your dream?
It's similar to Igor, to take off the burden of boring stuff. It is more time and.
Excuse me, there are some problems with your sound. Could you repeat again?
How about now?
Now it's better.
So I think I'm with Igor on this one. So I'd like to take the boring stuff, my shoulders, and be able to focus on more stuff, and also get the support of during the research. So if I'm collecting ideas, maybe some ideas can be generated by AI, and then I can run through them and just pick what's best suited for the particular case.
So, so are you looking for assistant for brainstorming?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, that's a good goal. So I have not even a dream. I have a current pain to relieve. Not as a data analyst, but mostly as a trainer, as a teacher, because I have my courses in person, online. I'm writing books, and I need to develop quizzes, sometimes entertaining quizzes, but sometimes real test to check knowledge, check the skills. And it's a tricky task. So, how to say? Maybe it's not a challenge, but it takes much time to create tricky question, which will connect different sections and check real understanding. And I asked ChatGPT to create these questions, options, but all them were too obvious. It was not about understanding, it's just about remembering some terms. And it's my current pain. Maybe you know such services which helps with quizzes on a specific technical material.
Not necessarily. I think that natural language generator as a general is OpenAI. It's probably your best guess at this point, right?
I
But
uh,
no, it doesn't help.
I wasn't
It's a
satisfied
query.
with the quality of these suggestions because
Yeah, it's a matter of query. In the end of the day, many people think like, oh, OpenAI will replace programming, but querying is programming itself. It's just on a different abstraction level. So yeah, the more complicated query you make, did you ever try writing things? Act as a copywriter with years of experience in the industry XYZ. You are narrowing down the spectrum the language should be searching in. Act as a copywriter who has years of experience writing quizzes within the industry of XYZ. Then you provide it context because it knows little, or okay, it knows everything. It's the most well-educated infant in the world. And then you ask question. I think this is the best way to use currently language modeling.
Yeah, but again, you are testing the knowledge, not the understanding of it. And I think this is two different things because you are you are not looking for the correct answer, but for the logical thinking if you want to test someone's understanding. Right? Not only remembering specific facts.
Yes, it's maybe a query is to ask AI to think as a person in the process of gaining knowledge, not just like Wikipedia. But I'll try again, and maybe I will train and find the solution. Okay, and I think that we will come to the last question about business implementation. So now we were talking about our process. We develop any analytical product, visual product, and talked about our personal performance or team performance, but the final purpose of all this data and visualization solution is a business implementation. And what do you think about the process of data-driven decision making? How can it be changed, or do you believe that it can be changed? I think now business don't trust to AI, and in general, business corporations are still conservative, and they were conservative decades ago about decision making. So in general, it's not even a question. I don't know how to say it, but what do you think about it? About this part, business decision making, AI? What's your experience? What do you think about changes in this field?
I think for the last couple of years, Tableau is speaking about data literacy as one of their main goals. And I think this is what will be standing on our way to make good data-driven decisions using AI. And I think I stand by the same thing I repeated at the beginning. It's all about data democratization to me. I am right now a bottleneck for many of my clients because I'm alone there and there are plenty of people who want the data and the needs are custom. They are different. Like Weronika said, we are looking into, can everybody get the data that they need and only the data that they need to do their work as quickly as possible and do quality decisions. Right now, it's not possible. Right now, we are being called as consultants to the C-level, to the senior stakeholders. People in the operation, they will get something quite generic. But if you will be giving them data democratization, if you will be giving them data by AI, then you are aiming into, all right, do they understand when the data is not correct? Because even if you will not involve AI, even if you will teach everybody simple SQL, there are problems with data. It's not perfect. And you can read different things differently. Look at Tableau. If you will do a sum of profit, or if you will start summing it up per category, like you're getting different ways of making sum, of making aggregation. Even to speak about profit within one company, you can calculate in so many ways, and we all have seen it, right? You have different data sets, they're making some small compartments of those data, and they're coming up with different numbers. Now, I think we deal with this through data literacy. And I think we are facing right now a very unique problem because companies are very divided on a very wide spectrum of those that are right now leading the spear at the very peak. They're using AI and machine learning and doing all those great things. And we still have companies who are speaking about the era of digitalization. You still have companies where people are writing things on notebooks, their IDs of the orders. Like, it all becomes such a wide problem. And I think data literacy is the thing to really solve it. The basic education of everybody and the access to very basics. Sometimes you don't need AI. Sometimes you would triple the profit by moving from notebook to actual Excels, which is already so outdated, right?
Great words. I agree with you that it's not about disruptive innovation. It's about democratization. And my personal experience for the recent years that I still teach corporations, financial institutions, how to use Excel pivot tables for personal analytics. And I understand the importance of this education because I teach people who are still not familiar with data, how to connect data source and build his ad hoc report without any IT stuff, just using his tool, which is familiar. So great words, not innovations, but democratization.
I think, sorry, Weronika, go ahead.
Good. Yeah. Okay. And yeah, I totally agree with Igor because it's not about tools because they are already there, right? Tableau releases new features couple of times a year. So this is not the problem. The problem is, or the challenge is to change the user thinking of data and to really democratize how we are thinking about the data, how we are using it, and to give the tools to assess if the insight is valid. Should we challenge it? Should we dig deeper into the data and see if there is any mismatch? How to interpret that? What to do with that? And on top of that, we can build the personalization. So if you understand your data, then you can think of choosing the correct part that might be suggested by AI. You can do the further personalization. So you can maybe pre-select the question you want to answer, but Firstly, you need to understand your data, your problems, and yeah, the question you are asking.
And I'll go with how does AI affect data-driven decision-making in organizations? So following on some sort of Weronika and Igor, how, yeah, really the big bottleneck is data literacy, because you can make accessing that data very easy, and that's what AI is doing through natural language. But if it's crap data, or if you ask the wrong question, you don't have the relevant sort of data literacy to understand that you've asked the wrong question, or that there are inherent problems that could be with the data, you'll make these bad decisions. And I worry, and this is not just data driven, but because AI is this black box and you don't understand really what it's going on, if you compound that on top of data literacy, like low levels of data literacy, you may be just doubling down on bad decisions and not really understand why that is. For instance, you may be using AI to screen resumes. I'm sure people already are. They're using machine learning, but add AI on top of that and screen resumes for hiring them for a big company. And you don't realize there is some bias because of the training data set it was trained on. And you're asking the wrong questions, and then it's trained on unintentionally biased data, and you're just doubling down on bad decisions. And then I'm worried that people won't realize that until quite a way down the track. So maybe the big focus for AI should be sort of, instead of just doing the boring work, but also being like the person on your shoulder. I think Alex was saying your like coworker is like, is that really right? Maybe we should look at this. Have you thought about, maybe that would be a great AI to have for data decision making, the sort of the devil and the angel on your shoulder sitting there going like, is that right? Maybe. Have you thought about this way? So that could be a good use.
I think that it's a great idea for new startup, and after our session, I will ask. I will record my voice message for the pitch deck and go to Midjourney to create images, and go to Y Combinator with new demon and angel data assistants. Okay, and Weronika, do you think?
On top of what was already said, I think yeah, once user understand the limitations and what's behind the AI, we can automate the routine tasks, right? We can clean our data faster. We can spot some outliers and use it for predictive analytics. So basically, to skip the data scientist, and just as a business user, you can just dig right into the data and ask your questions and get your answers quicker without being stopped by the personal project, right? Because maybe you don't have that many developers and just want to do quick search.
Yeah. So according to my experience, so my recent problems when we work in a BI project, build data warehouses, develop dashboards, sometimes bottleneck is not even data engineering processes or finding the insights. The problem of decision making is that decision makers don't like inconvenient truth, and if numbers doesn't correlate with their opinion, they not even don't trust. It's not about trust. They ignore these numbers, and my pain that decision makers ignore numbers when they don't like them. And again, it's not about AI solutions, and it's connected with the topic of data democratization in general. So democracy, but not monarchy or oligarchy. So I hope that these things will be changed thanks to democratization or any kind of progress. I tried to finish at the positive point, but I'm saying, but I think that all we are going right way and trying to adopt innovations, and but all we are thinking not as geeks in terms of just technical solutions. We understand that with people, and it's about education, it's about empathy, and other things of human being, not being robots. That's my try to conclude positively. If you have any positive conclusions, please help me.
I think another positive conclusion is that the AI will not replace humans anytime soon, especially in the data analytics. Business will still need consultants to get involved, let's say.
Yes, and if our personal work is not boring, we will be not replaced.
Yeah, I think we're going in a good direction, really. I think that AI, for many of us, will allow us to do more efficient work, better work, and focus on things that really matter. Like Weronika said, consulting will be more of a thing rather than just creating all the time. Some people will probably experience disappointment because they will be losing jobs. Let's say they're working in data entry. You probably will have a hard time keeping this job. But I think long term, it will work out for those people very well. Because even if you're experiencing some turbulences in your life for a while, it might force you to choose a career that you will enjoy more. And yeah, I'm very positive about the future. I think it will end up very well.
I'll quickly put my community hat on and say, as AI becomes more and more prevalent, I think we as people will want to have more and more human interaction. So maybe people actually end up working more closely together than otherwise, because you want to talk to a human and not a machine.
Okay, so let's keep being humans. Thank you very much for your time, for sharing your ideas, and let's stay in touch and wait for Data Visualization Award and Make Your Data Speak conference. Thank you.
Thank you, Alex.
Thank you so much.